There's a river in front of you, wide, fast, dark water. You can't see the bottom, and you have no idea what's in it. No bridge, no boat, no rope. Just you, the water, and whatever is waiting on the other side. Now, imagine you have no choice. Your food is on the other side. Your tribe is moving, and you have to keep up, or something behind you is worse than whatever is in that water. What do? Modern humans would stop, think, find another way. But ancient humans crossed rivers like this. Every single day, no tools, no technology. No guarantee they'd make it. And somehow, they did, because if they hadn't, you wouldn't be here right now. So how did they do it? The first thing an ancient human did when he saw a river was nothing. He stopped. He watched. Not because he was scared. Well, maybe a little scared, but because he was smart. He watched where the water moved slowest, where animals came to drink. Because animals always find the safest spot, where the river got narrow, where rocks were close enough to step on. He didn't just jump in. He studied the river like it was an enemy he had to outsmart. And that instinct, that ability to observe before acting, it is one of the reasons humans spread across the entire planet while other species stayed in one place. But watching only gets you so far. Because some rivers were too wide, too deep, too dangerous to read from the shore. So ancient humans did something that nobody expected. They didn't invent anything. They didn't need to. Nature had already built everything they needed. A fallen log floating near the bank, that's a boat. A thick bundle of reeds tied together, that's a raft. A large rock sticking out of the water, that's a stepping stone. Ancient humans were not building technology. They were reading what was already in front of them and using it. Researchers who study early human migration patterns found something fascinating. Everywhere humans moved, across Africa, into Europe, through Asia, they always followed rivers, not to cross them, to use them. Rivers told them where the food was, where animals drank, where other tribes had been. The river wasn't just an obstacle, it was a road. But there were moments when that road had to be crossed, and those moments were the most dangerous of their lives. Because it wasn't just the water they had to worry about. Most people think the danger was drowning. It wasn't. Well, it was. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what lived in the water. Crocodiles don't attack from the surface. They wait at the bottom, still. Patient, invisible, and they don't just live in rivers we think of as dangerous. 100,000 years ago, crocodiles lived in rivers across Africa, Asia, and parts of Europe. Rivers that today look completely calm and safe. Ancient humans knew this, which is why they never crossed alone. This is the part that researchers find most interesting. When a group of ancient humans needed to cross a river, they crossed together. Some made noise on the banks to scare anything hiding near the edges. Some went in first to test the current, while others watched. Some carried the children on their shoulders. They had a system. No one taught them this system. No one wrote it down. They figured it out because the ones who didn't survive to teach anyone anything. And this is where the story gets really interesting, because crossing rivers didn't just keep them alive. It changed who they became. Every time an ancient human crossed a river, they ended up somewhere new. New land, new animals, new food, new possibilities that the people who stayed behind never got to see. And over thousands of years, this pattern repeated itself. The ones who crossed survived, adapted, spread. The ones who stayed on the same side stayed the same. Anthropologists believe that early human migration out of Africa happened exactly this way. Small groups. Dangerous crossings. New territory on the other side, one river at a time. There's a word for what these ancient humans had that made them cross. Scientists call it risk tolerance, the ability to look at something dangerous and decide the other side is worth it. And here's the uncomfortable part. That same instinct is still inside you. Every time you start something new, knowing it might fail. Every time you walk into a room where you know nobody, every time you make a decision that scares you, you're doing exactly what your ancestors did, standing at the edge of a dark river and jumping in anyway. They crossed rivers to survive. You inherited their courage, whether you feel it or not.